Welcome to Workplace Psychology with Dr. Martha Greidick. I'm Dr. Martha Greidick. This podcast examines a wide variety of work-related issues through the lens of industrial and organizational psychology. And while many of the topics discussed here may be seen as intended for white-collar employees and their employers, in reality, the ideas presented here are applicable across organizations and industries. Additionally, many of the topics discussed here may be applicable outside of the workplace. I encourage you to examine what's presented here, apply what makes sense to you, and simply discard the rest. Self-care has been a popular topic of conversation for some time now, but most of the time when we think about self-care, we think about practices that are intended for home or at least for outside of the workplace. But the good news is that many of the practices that are suggested for self-care that you may do at home may also be appropriate to do at the workplace. Considering how busy we all are while at work and how much stress we potentially face while at work, self-care while at work is critical. This means taking some time throughout the day, every day, to focus on yourself. But taking some time throughout the day to focus on yourself and your well-being is a bigger picture. It's an overall goal. You may be wondering, what specifically can I do while at work that would be considered self-care that I can do throughout the day, every day, to ensure that I am taking care of myself and my well-being? Well, there are a number of suggestions that I will make that you can incorporate into your daily experience at the workplace. And remember that you're not limited to whatever I present to you here today. Your imagination is your best friend. As long as it's appropriate for the office, then I see no reason why you couldn't explore options other than what I present you with. But this is a good list to get you started. So first, a good thing that you can do is simply look away from your computer monitor. We spend a great deal of time looking at monitors and other electronic screens, whether it's at work or at home, maybe even in your car or when you're outside. We are constantly looking at some kind of an electronic monitor. It's so important to look away and give your eyes an opportunity to rest. So you may want to look away from your computer screen while you're at the office. Maybe you choose to close your eyes for 30 seconds or a minute, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you choose to gaze out the window and allow your eyes to focus on something far away. This is very important because as we are looking at screens, electronic screens, for hours every single day, we're not letting our eyes exercise in the form of focusing at different distances. We're constantly looking, focusing at about the same distance away from our eyes. So it's so important that you take some time every day throughout the day to rest your eyes. And I would say, rather than picking one over the other, you do both. Sometimes you simply close your eyes for, let's say, 30 seconds or a minute, and the next time maybe you look away. You could do this every hour. Do one or the other, where you allow your eyes to have a rest, to take a break from looking at a screen. And that is equally important for your computer screen at the office as it is for your computer at home or your phone, whatever, your tablet, whatever the case may be. Another important thing to consider is making sure that your entire body gets a break. So stand up and step away from your desk. Stretch your body. Get the muscles an opportunity to move. It's so important to move our bodies because we tend to sit an awful lot. And many of you listening have jobs that require prolonged sitting. Some of you may sit for the entire duration or nearly the entire duration while you're working. So it's very important that you stand up, move away from your desk, stretch your body, give your muscles an opportunity to move, get the blood flowing. It's very important that you're not sitting all the time the entire day. Make sure you take a break to use the restroom. It's so easy to get busy with all of the tasks that you have at work that sometimes you forget to stand up and walk away and do something as simple as use the restroom. So make sure you're taking an opportunity, taking a break, and going to use the restroom as you need it on a regular basis. Another thing to do is to walk. Whether you walk around the office or whether you have an opportunity to walk outside, if that's an option, then by all means take it. Engage in some kind of movement. Maybe, if it's appropriate, only you can make that call, of course, maybe you could do some jumping jacks. Maybe in your office, or if you go outside, maybe there's a private spot where you could do it and not get in trouble or look too silly. But walking, of course, would be more acceptable. But whatever the case may be, again, the idea is to get your body moving, stand up and get away from your desk, from your workstation, get the blood flowing, get the muscles moving so that you are allowing your body and your mind to take a break at the same time. Remember to drink some water. It's so easy to get engrossed in your work, your tasks, that you forget to do the basics, like having some water, having enough water throughout the day. And that's not the same as drinking a soda or a sugary drink of any other kind. Make sure that every day throughout the day you're sipping some water so that you get enough water into your body. Even during the situations when you can't stand up and walk away, you might be able to engage in some break-like activities at your desk. So maybe you close your eyes and maybe do a quick meditation, maybe even something as quick as 1 or 2 minutes, something to get you out of the work mode, something to give your mind a break. Similarly, you could do some breath work or some mindfulness exercises. Now, while I don't suggest that you forgo getting up and looking away and moving your body using the restroom, I encourage you to make sure that you do things at your desk when you can't get up and get away. That will also provide a break for you. So that's where the breath work or mindfulness exercises or maybe a little mini meditation can come in handy. As you can see, these are things that are appropriate both for the office as well as outside of the office. So make sure that you incorporate these kinds of practices in your non-work life as well. Because, as I said earlier, many of us look at electronic screens for hours on end, not just at work, but also outside of the office. As the episode comes to an end, let's review what was discussed. Self-care is an important topic of conversation, and it's not limited only to the things that we can do while we're at home. There are practices that are acceptable to do at work, and I encourage you to engage in these on a regular basis every day throughout the day while you're at work. Simple things such as closing your eyes to allow them to rest, or gazing out of a window to allow your eyes to focus on something far away, is a great way of allowing your eyes to rest. Make sure to remember to stand up and stretch. Go for a walk. Take a drink of water. Make sure you take a bathroom break as needed. And for those instances where you simply can't get away from your desk, take a few moments to do some breath work, or to do a mini meditation, or maybe a small mindfulness type of exercise, something to give your mind a break. As the week unfolds, I invite you to explore how some of the suggestions provided here today could help you to take breaks throughout the day while you're working. But remember that these are not the only things that you can do while at work. If your imagination comes up with something else, as long as it's appropriate for work, why not try it? Self-care is an important topic of conversation because it's important. So I invite you to engage in the kinds of practices that take care of your health and well-being today and every day. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to this podcast. I hope that you will join me again next time. Until then, I wish you joy and well-being.